Hello, I'd like to introduce you to a method that we use at Salamanca House called action learning. It's a method that we use to help pupils to build and consolidate their Spanish vocabulary. And it is what it says. It's using actions. In fact, you're going to be using actions around the home in which you live in order to help you to remember important vocabulary and very important verbs associated with those actions. Okay, so it's a method that you can take at your own time, at your leisure, and it goes independently, completely independently from the normal weekly class that you have with your tutor. Okay, so it's something we want you to take your time about. Knowing the words of the objects in your home is very important indeed, and there are lots and lots of them. And to help you do that, we've constructed some worksheets. First of all, a list of labels, all right, which you might like to print and cut up and stick around your home. If you're going to do that, be sensible with regard to where you place them. Don't put the labels in anywhere dangerous where the paper might catch on fire, for example. And you can download this. If you go to our website on the homepage and click on the action, scroll down and click on the action learning tab, you will find that there are a number of tabs which allows you to print documents. So you can print this document on our website. Also, to help you build this very important word base, this word vocabulary of the stuff around your house, we've created a word list, which you can also, in the same place, you can also download this word list, this noun list of the objects in your home. We want you to, first of all, make a big effort to try and memorize these words. It's very important to try and get them into your head. And along with these word lists, there are a number of written exercises. It's good to take a pen and paper and try and write down, do those exercises to try and help get those words into your head. Okay. Likewise, the verbs that are associated with the actions that you're going to do around the house are also listed, and you can download those. And again, there are activities that you can do, worksheet activities, which help you to memorize, going to help you to memorize those important verbs. In addition to the written exercises, there are a lot of interactive exercises on the same page, which will help you to memorize the words. It will build your confidence in pronouncing the words. They are listening exercises, they are quizzes, they are pronunciation drills, and all of these things will help you to sort of build that initial word base. It's important to get that initial word base under your belt before you actually start doing the action learning activities, which I'll talk about in a minute. In fact, I'll talk about it now. Okay, so what you're going to do is, using short phrases that use those verbs and nouns that you've just learned, you're going to describe everyday actions that you're doing around the house. A little bit like a type of, if you think of a sat nav, how the sat nav tells you where to go, well, you're going to do the same thing, but with these nouns and verbs. You're going to describe what you're doing. So simple things like, and I'll give you an example of this later on, making a cup of tea or tidying up your sitting room. So while you're going about making a cup of tea, you're describing what you're doing in Spanish using these simple phrases. Or while you're doing the same thing, while you're tidying up your living room, you're using these simple phrases. So you can switch into this kind of, if you like, word nav mode anytime you want during the day. And the idea is that as you navigate yourself around your home, carrying out these tasks, that in itself is helping you to get those words into your head. All right. So through carrying out the actions, you're helping to memorize the verbs and the the nouns. Now, if you're a beginner, don't worry too much about the verbs. We recommend, if you're with us at Salamanca House, that you really ought to have completed stage one, because that gives you a fairly good understanding of the conjugation of Spanish verbs, of regular AR, ER, IR verbs, reflexive verbs, and the irregular verbs. So you need to have, you know, a reasonable understanding of how they work before you go into this action learning, this word navigation, word nav activity that we want you to do. Obviously, the nouns you can learn right from go. If you're a complete and absolute beginner, just start trying to memorize, the names of the objects in your home. It's very important. But going back to the verbs, don't worry too much about that, because really we're only going to be using the present tense. So we're not going to be using any other tenses. And as you'll see later on, for example, I'm going to give you a couple of examples, and all I'm going to be using is the present tense, present singular, is all that you need to know in order to get, to navigate yourself around your home. So probably the best thing to do is that I give you an example, and then then you'll understand where we're coming from with this action learning activity.